What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and right on time. The timing is so fucking suspicious, in fact, that if I would be inclined to believe it was a setup. Today I'm talking about Paul Trainor 4068. Just showed up in the comments literally 3 minutes ago on my what it's like to take 500 milligrams of testosterone cycle, and commented, I'm going to lose some light here for a second so I can read this genius. Mediocre response to PEDs. Not good for bodybuilding. See, guys, this is exactly what I was talking about in my video about estrogen. How when a guy goes on a fucking cycle, if he only gains like 10 pounds of muscle, like a lot of people want to act like, oh, dude, you fucking wasted your time. This is why I was saying that I think coaches are unfortunately lying to people about their estrogen levels so that they will balloon up on a cycle, that the coach can get them to gain 20, 30 pounds, even though it's totally shit weight. That makes them look better as a coach. Yeah, I don't think it does, but I think that this is the mentality. And this is why, because we've got guys like Paul Trainor 4068 who can't seem to figure out that cameras are really poor at picking up small amounts of weight change on your body. So when you think about it in reality, if a person gains 10 pounds of muscle in 12 to 16 weeks, as one of my other much more intelligent commenters said, that's actually a lot of muscle to build in a short period of time. 10 pounds of contractile tissue in 16 weeks is a remarkable amount of muscle gain. But if you gain 10 pounds of muscle, this is not, unfortunately, going to be this really stark difference in a picture. Because if you're gaining muscle properly, then you're doing a standard bodybuilding split. You were lifting arms, chest, back, legs. This 10 pounds of muscle spread all over your body and then cast into a two-dimensional image is not going to be some fucking staggering difference. Chances are you're not even, like, I look at those pictures when I know how much contractile tissue I built, and I even said in my video, like, I was insecure making the video because it's like, damn, dude, it's like, you look at the picture and it doesn't really look like that much muscle. But that's my first cycle, and I put on 10 pounds. And then you do another cycle and you put on 10 pounds. And another cycle you put... Next thing you know, you start to look like a fucking monster. But you don't do it overnight. You don't build 30 pounds of lean tissue in 16 weeks. And so coaches know this, and I think that there's unfortunately a lot of people in the bodybuilding industry, or just guys in general, who care too much about what idiots like Paul Trainor have to say. And so they get ashamed and embarrassed of what is otherwise actually really good gains. So they do steroids and they tell their buddies about it, and then their buddies have these unrealistic expectations, and the guy doesn't turn into Jay Cutler overnight, and then they're all ashamed. They feeling like they fucked up, they made a mistake, they didn't get big enough. Maybe I don't respond well to PEDs. I think that's what this guy's suggesting. Obviously, there's people respond in different ways. Like I am incredibly muscularly gifted in a lot of ways. I have the ability to to put lean gains on my body without having to add a lot of body fat. I have disproportionately large delts, really good vascularity, really good aesthetic muscular shape to my body. I am very, very happy with the vast majority of my body. I think that my delts are so big that they dwarf my pecs and they make them look smaller than they really are. But I do think, admittedly, I'm not gifted in the pec department. I would love to have the big fucking, Arnold Schwarzenegger pecs. They used to say that he could like rest a beer mug on like the upper shelf of his upper pec muscle. So this, like I said, I literally just made a video talking about why I think guys become so obsessed with these ego gains. They want to put on 20, 30 pounds for ego reasons. So they don't have guys like Trainor coming in the gym like, well, damn, bro, I thought you were fucking on gear, man. You don't even look that big. You're not even really, you're a shitty bodybuilder. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. You got bad genetics, man. You should fucking hang it up. So what's probably going to happen is Trainor, it clicked on a video that got served to him, because I've had this shit happen before. More than once, I've had somebody get on my channel and they look at that video and they're like, this guy is a fucking tiny little shrimp. Look at him. He doesn't know anything about bodybuilding at all. Then they click on a video like 2 years later and it's like, oh, god damn. Looking a little bit different a fucking few cycles down the road. Yeah, dumbass. Nobody fucking gets jacked on their first cycle. It doesn't happen to anybody. It didn't happen to fucking C-Bomb. It didn't happen to fucking Ronnie Coleman. And it didn't happen to Jay Cutler. I don't give a shit how much of a fucking hyper responder you are. Nobody gets big in one fucking steroid cycle. If they did, there would be no steroid market to speak of. They wouldn't be able to fucking have a multi-million, maybe billion-dollar industry selling all these drugs constantly. People wouldn't be cycling multiple times a year. They wouldn't be using 3, 4, 5, God knows how many compounds at a time. They wouldn't be taking upwards of 2 to 3 grams of fucking gear if every swinging dick who fucking walked into Planet Fitness took 500 milligrams of test for 12 weeks and turned into a fucking giant. But unfortunately, we have dickheads like this guy who are going to get in the comments and show his ass. So all of you make sure to drop by and say a little hello to our new friend, Trainor, just showed up on the fucking scene to let all of us know that I have shitty fucking muscular genetics and I'm not good at bodybuilding. Thank you very much. I needed that shit today, man. I told you I've been going through a little bit of shit today at home, and I really needed to exercise some fucking demons. So Paul, thank you very much for getting into my comment section and helping me to prove a point that I've been making for some period of time, which is that estrogen destroys your steroid cycles. Do not let people like Paul get in your head because you only gain 10 pounds of muscle in a steroid cycle and there's not some massive gigantic difference on your cell phone fucking selfie that you took in the fucking locker room at the end of your cycle compared to your fucking starter image. This fucks more guys up than you will ever know. This is why like guys like Greg Doucette make comments, accurately make statements like, the vast majority of guys who do steroid cycles, you would never know they did a cycle. There are fucking millions of people who do steroid cycles every year. They look like total fucking dog shit because they don't know how to diet. They don't know how to PCT. They took them at the wrong time. They were too fat to begin with. They should have fucking cut first. There's so many people who run gear and you would never even know they did it. The average guy you don't know is doing it because he doesn't have these remarkable gains. I admittedly am not a mass monster. I just cannot eat the calories necessary to turn into Nick Walker. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have a genetic, there's no fucking thing that's limiting that from happening. What's limiting me from growing any bigger is that I cannot eat the fuel necessary to grow. And how can we know this? Somebody's gonna say, bullshit. You no matter what you do, you will never be 270 pounds of muscle. Well, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. And the reason I'm gonna call bullshit on that is because I don't get fat either. If I was eating in a calorie surplus, I would either A, be building muscle on cycle, or I would be getting fatter. I cannot possibly be in a consistent calorie surplus and not gain weight. That is a mathematical certainty. If you are in a surplus, you will gain weight, period. You cannot prevent it. And if you are in a deficit, you will lose weight like a starving fucking Jew in a concentration camp. People are gonna be like, well, my metabolism. That bullshit. Yes, metabolism is a factor, but calories in, calories out. No matter what your metabolism is, fast or slow, if you eat more than you fucking burn, you gain weight. If you burn more than you eat, you lose weight. If I could find a way to choke down the calories, I would start growing again on the very large amounts of fucking gear that I use. The reality is that I'm wasting the vast majority of the gear I put into my body because I just cannot force myself to eat these calories. So please, guys, use Paul Trainor as an example of one who not to be. Don't be this guy. This guy is an embarrassing, shameful fucking human being who has come to somebody's channel to shit on their progress without even knowing anything about them at all. Or he's a troll trying to get attention, which congratulations, you did that. So don't be that guy for starters. That's a bad person to be. And two, don't let this guy affect you when you are doing the right thing. You're on a course, you're making fucking gains, you know what you're fucking doing. You gotta shut the fucking eardrums to all that noise and don't let people distract you from your fucking goal. Don't let them piss you off. Protect the cycle, and if you stay the course long enough, you will see the progress that you're looking for. This is a fucking marathon. It is not a sprint. Nobody becomes a fucking IFBB pro overnight. Nobody fucking does it. Everybody has to put in the fucking work. And why in the world anybody would look at someone's beginner cycle and stand in judgment of that is so fucking beyond me. It's unbelievable. It's like, imagine telling somebody they were a shitty driver the first time they drove a car, you know, or they were shitty at baseball at their first T-ball game. This is the psychology behind that critique is just the fucking dumbest thing imaginable. Luckily for me, it provided me the opportunity to make this content, which I was really kind of struggling tonight to find motivation for content. So again, like I said, Paul Trainor, 4068, thank you for motivating me to make this comment or this content, and thank you for being an example to everyone in this audience today and all of the members of the audience to come of what not to be and how not to act, because you, sir, are a fucking loser. As always, thank you for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.